Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Francine. How you doing? This is my 2 cents. Hope everybody had a good day today. I have had a wonderful day today. Today, as you know, we come and we talk about the last show that we did on Autumn is Here. Autumn is Here is my podcast that I started to give people some information about dealing with their parents as they age, and also to give people information about getting older and getting more involved with their parents. So that's what Autumn is Here is about. And our last podcast, we had Abe. Oh, sorry. We had Ab Brody. He was here, and he was from New York University, Rory Myers College of Nursing, and he gave us some information on dementia. Now, dementia, we know that there's no cure for Alzheimer's and things like that, but we do know that there are people who are working on it. People are there and they're working on it. So that's why we want to talk to people, to give people some information and give people some hope that they know that, what they're going through, there are people that are working on it. So we really appreciate people like Ab who's working on it. And he's made so many good points about dementia. And he really wants to be able to assist caregivers in how they treat and take care of their loved one. So that's what the last episode of Autumn is Here is about. We just want you to know that if you haven't seen the show, it's okay. You can still give your questions or anything that you want to say about the subject matter that we're talking about. That's fine. So please make sure that it's okay that you didn't see the show, but we would like you to go back and look at this show when you get a chance. Okay. So today I'm not here alone. I am here today with Evelyn Flows, Evelyn No Ceiling Network. How are you today?
Hello. I'm great. How are you? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Awesome, awesome. I'm doing good. How are you?
I am well. I am well.
Good.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
So we're here today. We're talking about um, dementia care. Really, that's pretty much what Mr. Brody was talking about. Dementia care. It is they have programs that they do that will get people more involved with their um, person that they're taking care of. But it's also to educate some of the healthcare professionals because, as he stated, there was very little in learning as far as the healthcare professionals, as far as the medical field about dementia. And it's so broad and so many people are affected by it that they really need to be on board and learn more about it. So that was one of the things that he was talking about, being dementia friendly, being able to understand what's going on and being able to assist. And one of the major things is not to just give drugs, to for dementia. Some of the drugs, of course, we know that there is no cure, and they do have
Mm.
some drugs out that may slow down the process and things like that. But sometimes they give drugs to treat the symptoms, and it makes it worse. So that's one of the things that was very important to him, to give some um, ideas and different things that are that you can do that does not have you don't have to take drugs, and the caregiver can help them in doing these things and implementing these things. So that was one of the things that he talked about. So
I love
we're here
that.
today just to talk about all of these different points. Anything out there that you want to talk about that you've heard about during the episode, please make sure you write it in and let us know that you're here.
Absolutely. We got some people watching. Hey, y'all, we got a few people watching on there. So, just like always, we tell y'all make sure don't be a stranger. Okay. I know this is Francine's 2 cents, but we want to hear your 2 cents too. Okay. So, put it in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Yeah. And if you're watching the replay, you can talk to us too, and we'll respond in the comments. So, Francine, from what I gather, there's an app that people can use for this?
Okay, this is being tested now. Okay, so
Mm.
it's being tested now. It is a mobile app that they're working on, that they are trying to get people to take this and research this and work with this. It's able to It's tailored to you. Like, you put in your information for the person, like the caregiver puts in his information for the person that they're taking care of that has dementia, and they'll ask certain questions. And once you set it up, it tracks, and that you can even um, better care for them. because it tracks and it gives some ways to help them if they're stressed, if they're, maybe this day you're going through where they're agitated. So it gives some suggestions for that and things like that. So you do it on your phone, but it's a 4 day. I mean, sorry, so 4 day, 4 week, 4 week trial basis, and they are actually pay something for you to do that also. So if you're
Wow.
caring for someone who has dementia, then you might be interested in that. We did put it on my website.
Mm-hmm.
So is under Aliviato on my website. If you click that, then you can see what the actual trial is for, and then you can see if you may want to do it. So that would be good.
I love that. I love that. I mean, it's always good to try to find remedies for things that are not pharmaceuticals,
Mhm.
because we hear so much about like side effects and different things from all types of pharmaceuticals, not just with dementia. So I think, yeah, I think this is pretty cool
Yeah.
for them to
It,
have an app for it and everything.
Yeah, it really is. And they're working hard to try to just really educate the public and educate the healthcare system, which is good because we need to work together. The doctors and the patients need to work together, and if the doctors don't know so much about it, how are the patients going to know when when you um, are diagnosed with it, or you're taking care of somebody with it? If the doctors only know are limited, then what do you do then? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So we really
absolutely.
need to get on that and educate them on that. So it's really good that they're doing this and they're working this out. So yeah.
I love that. What were some of the like actual remedies that stuck out to you? Did he mention some like actual remedies that they're like pushing?
One of the things that he said that he believes that works more than anything is music. That's what he said. Yeah, he
Oh,
said
I
that works
love
more than
that.
anything is like music therapy or music, and I guess I believe it was like what they like to listen to, things like
Hmm.
that. So it doesn't have to be anything extreme. You don't have to study music therapy and stuff like that, but that tends to calm them down, acquaint them with something that they like, so it's easier for them, to just to be able to relax, something for them to listen to and stuff like that. And sometimes you don't have to have you know drugs that will calm you down, because they give you drugs and psychotic drugs to calm you down, so that's an
Hmm.
alternative.
Yeah, and a lot of times those, and I just put a question up there for the audience just in case if anybody hops on, they'll see that. But um, so okay, before I go, so I had another thought, but before I go there, let's sit on the music therapy for a little while. Like that's been a thing for a long time, as
Hmm.
far as using music to help people remember things, to help people calm down in different
Right.
areas,
Yeah.
even with children who have autism and different things like that. So that doesn't come as a surprise to me. But do you think that it's used often, or as often as it could be?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if they know about it, yes. I think that if people know about it, they will use it. Some people will just implement it, like, my mom liked music, so I knew that, so I
Hmm.
would do that. Now, did I know the effect of it far as dementia? No, I didn't, because I didn't know I didn't know what will help with dementia. I just didn't know.
Hmm.
I didn't have any education on it. So
Yeah.
but I did know she enjoyed it. She enjoyed it, and it made her happy. And I think it takes them where, reminiscence,
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
pass where they enjoyed a time where they enjoyed it. And that's always good. That's always good.
Absolutely. I mean, think about when we listen to our favorite songs,
Yeah.
and it always like transports us to another time, So
Mhm.
yeah, I'm sure that does the same thing. Lizette left a comment here. She says, as a registered professional nurse, it was so refreshing to hear about someone fighting to use something other than medication. The
Mhm.
person with dementia may not even be able to articulate any side effects from the medication. So this is great. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes a
that's
lot of
very,
sense.
yeah, yeah. Because actually, you're right. People don't think about that. When you have dementia, they may not be able to express what's really going on with them, and here you are loading them up with all of these different pharmaceutical drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kind of masking what's happening and stuff like that. So it's good to be able to um, have someone else at least thinking about it. He's in the medical field. He knows the dementia patients, and he's thinking about so many different ways to help them. So that's really good. That's really good. Yeah, yeah.
I
So
love that. I love that.
hi everyone.
Um,
How you doing? Applebee's.
hey,
Applebee's, I believe, is Franklin. So hi, Franklin.
Franklin is watching from YouTube over there. Hey,
Okay.
hey YouTube. Hey Facebook. I love that. I love that
Yeah.
so much. Goodness, I just had a question on my mind and I just forgot it. Oh well, we will continue.
Well,
But yeah.
yeah, his thing is having effective care. That's the
Okay.
point.
Okay.
Use things that's going to work. If you're using things just to calm them down, it's not effective care. You know, use things that's going to work. Hopefully with research they can find other things that will
Hmm.
work. But the part of it is just making sure that people are getting the best care, and it's individual, and that's why the mobile app is so important, you know
Yeah.
because it's individual. This is where the caregiver can put, or the family member can put in the information about their person and get some feedback, some things that are going to help them individually, because everybody in dementia, having dementia, has different effects.
Love that.
It's not one thing that happens to all of them. So that's why the mobile app is really important. So if anybody's out there that has somebody who has dementia and they want to try the trial, please, you can go to our website. It's on our website on Aliviato, and it's also, you can actually email them at Aliviado, Aliviado dash caregiving at NYU edu. So you can do that, and you can email them, and you can ask questions before you take it or do it. You can ask questions, but it's only 4 weeks, which is good, which is really good.
Love
So
that. We
yeah.
have someone here that said music seemed to help calm my mom down when she
Ah,
had her flare-ups from Alzheimer's behavior.
oh,
Love to see that.
okay.
I
And see,
s-
that's good that people have testimonials and experience from that,
mhm.
which is really good, which is
So
really
I
good.
remember my question I was going to ask you, and I think I added another one on there. So I got a three-parter here. Okay.
Oh Lord,
So
here we go.
the first thing is, um, you know, well, let me say this first. I think sometimes we're just doing what we know best to do when you were talking about your mom liking music and
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah.
But it's really good to get that confirmation and like, that uh proof behind, that and know that it actually works. But
Right.
I wanted to ask you when, your loved ones are medicated and
Mhm.
they're like a shell of themselves, right?
Yeah.
If they're not so overly medicated and you're doing these effective practices to help them, do you think that, I know they're not going to be the same as who they were to you. Do they evolve and like, well, this is, this is I guess a philosophical question or a big question to ask, but do you think that they evolve into, a new form of themselves as a person? Like, I know a lot of times when people have dementia, they're not who they used to be, right? And then the medication kind of makes them like just numb or a shell of themselves.
Hmm.
But if you could do other types of treatment like what you discussed on Sunday, they may not be themselves, but will they be closer to being, who you remember them to be? Or
I,
do
I,
they
yeah.
evolve?
I don't think that we know if they're going to, Alzheimer's and dementia is progressive.
Hmm.
Okay. So do I think that like that's going to bring them all the way back? I don't think it'll bring them all the way back because they still have the disease, but
Right.
it will, you have moments,
Hmm.
sometimes you can have dementia and they can be totally lucid. They can be clear, they know who you are, they know whatever. And then other times they don't know who you are. So it can be something that continues, that can help them to kind of come back, at least for a little while, or
Hmm.
get, be comfortable with something. It's so comfortable that it makes them remember something, and they are back to whatever they used to do. But it's not something that I think that's gonna It doesn't cure it because you still have it. You have it. So
Yeah.
you still, they're gonna still have back and forth. But in dementia, you go back and forth.
Hmm.
So you have good days and you have bad days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And I think with medication, it just kind of has them
yeah.
zoned out for,
Right.
it's hard
Well,
to even
yeah,
come back.
that's not good at all because
Yeah.
it's bad enough that they are already confused. They
Hmm.
already are not comfortable. They're trying to figure it out themselves. People who have dementia know something is going on, you know? So yeah, just drugging them and they are not themselves is not good. But
Yeah. And then,
also
mhm.
I wanted to say that Alleviato, they also at NYU, they also they are focusing on the underserved. Okay, there are places where people
Okay.
don't get the right information. They are focused on places where people are not served properly. They are focused on places where um, healthcare, some people don't have a good healthcare system. They may have doctors and stuff that they go to, but it may not be a good healthcare system. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they're focused on, getting help for the underserved and getting help for people who don't have a good healthcare system. So
I
just
love
wanted to say,
that. I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that. We have a listener here that says my mom was never the same. The medication did not help her.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
wow. See, and sometimes it doesn't help, and you want something to help them, but you got to be aware of that, and you got to you sometimes you got to say no. Sometimes you got to stop it. Sometimes you have to be the advocate for them, but you have to watch them and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they can't talk for themselves. Sometimes they can't figure it out. So and that puts an extra pressure on a caregiver because you're thinking, okay, good. You go to the doctor, get examined. Okay, they give them the medicine. Okay, you want a breather, so you're like, okay, this will help, and then you start watching them. It's not helping either.
Hmm.
It's doing something opposite, or they're just out of it, and now you have to make the decision. What do I do? Do I stop them? Do I call a doctor and see if there's another kind of drug that maybe works better? So being a caregiver, you have to make these kind of decisions. It's really tough. It's
Yeah.
really tough. Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So I have another question for you. But before I hop into that, hold on. She said, "Oh, this is Deborah." Okay. Hey,
Hi,
Deborah. Thank you for chiming in. We love, love, love when people chime in. So before I hop into my other question, I just wanted to acknowledge the audience again. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. You said Franklin, and
Franklin.
thank
Yeah.
you, Lizette, for chiming in. And whoever else is watching there, go ahead and make sure you let us know where you're watching from. We are talking, having a conversation about Sunday's episode of Autumn is Here podcast with your host, Francine Crawford. And so we're just having a little conversation about what she discussed with her guests. So thank you all for hopping on. My question is, you were talking about, and it may be more of a statement, but I want to hear your 2 cents on it.
Okay.
You were talking about how on the app you get to track different things about your loved one, and so that stood out to me because I think a lot of times we experience things, but we don't record it. And I think
Mm.
in recording things, you can see a pattern. You can see what's
Yes.
working, what's not
Yeah.
working.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about that? I think it's pretty cool that the
Yeah.
app kind of, puts you in that mindset, but you can actually do that,
Yeah.
without the app. But what are your thoughts about
Well, the
recording
app
what's
gives you
happening?
the app. You put the information in, but it also gives you things to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
Okay.
just writing it down on a pad. So it also gives you things to do because it's about dementia. And they know about dementia, so it gives you some
Love that.
solutions, some things that are going to help you. Also, one of the things he said with writing it down. When they first did it, it didn't have journaling. Now they have journaling part of it, which is going to help them every day. Like, okay, what happened today, what happened this day, and you can see your pattern. So you can do that in there. They'll have journaling or whatever you felt about something. You know what I'm saying? You could journal it. You just some days are rougher than others with caregivers. And sometimes
Hmm.
you just have to say, okay, this is today, she drunk coffee and had a lot of juice and stuff like that. And I noticed her behavior was different. I know that, and it was difficult for me because I couldn't keep her calm, and I couldn't, you know what I'm saying? So you remember that day that she had those items, maybe that had something to do with her being jittery or stuff like that. So you have to write it down. So it's really good. It's really good to have that journaling. So that's a part of the mobile app now. So,
Mhm.
if anybody wants to test it out, it's a 4-week trial. It's a mobile app. Get in touch with them, please, because it's good that when you know it, when you know what's going on and when you have something to help you, guide you, it's very helpful. And this will help other people. This will help other people. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Mary from Davenport, Florida says hi. Hey, Mary.
Hi.
Thank you for
Yes.
hopping
Hi.
on. Thank you for hopping
Thank
on.
you.
Um, so Francine, I love, love, love that you are interviewing people who are doing these amazing things when it comes to people with dementia and caregivers. And sometimes these things are not mainstream. Like this particular app, it's in a trial right now, and I'm sure they're, on their way to solidifying the app and making it something that's accessible to everybody.
Hmm.
But you're on the ground floor of it, and I love that. And working
Yeah.
with NYU right now, just being connected to that, I think that's amazing. I really
Yeah.
do. I think back on your episode about cannabis with the doctor. Like those are things that people are not like, is not the norm. And I'm so
Yeah.
grateful that you're giving this information to people.
You want people to have
Um,
choices. You want people to have
yeah,
choices, and know
yeah,
everything. And everything may not fit you, but know everything. Know everything. And one of the
yeah.
things that Ab said, it was that people don't know how much support is out here. There's a lot
Mm,
of support. There's a lot of support. He was naming different places that there was a lot of support out here for you,
hmm.
especially with dementia. So just make sure you
Wow.
look into that. For these different places, Alzheimer's Association, Caring Kind, New York Department of Aging. You can call them and ask them, anything. Family caregivers, different places are giving good information, and they'll point you to another place. Also, Catholic Charities. People don't know the Catholic Charities is a resource. So
Mm.
yeah,
I
yeah,
love that. I love that. Deborah was saying that she had some recordings of her mom, and they were hard to look at sometimes.
oh,
Deborah, I think that's amazing that you chronicled that time with your mom. And even though it's hard to look at, I'm pretty sure that later down the line you'll be grateful to have those memories, of
absolutely.
her.
I
Yeah.
wish I had more with my mom when she was going
Hmm.
through. I wasn't into social media and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
I wasn't recording like that. I wish I was. I really do.
Hmm.
Just to see her going through it. I know it's hard to watch, but you can pick up stuff from that, and I think you can help people. I think you can help
Hmm.
people. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I
So
love that.
yeah,
So Francine, I'm gonna give you a minute just to share with the audience a little bit more about, and I don't know if you gave this spiel already, but why you started Autumn is Here and why it's so important to have a community. But before I hop off and let you do that, um,
yes,
oh goodness, it was you were talking about, oh yeah, that there's so many resources.
yeah,
You know, a lot of people don't know that, and you're making people aware of that. And, I just want to encourage everybody who is watching my 2 cents right now to share this on your page. Share it on your page. Click, how you copy the link, send it in a text message, in an email, whatever you can do, because somebody needs to have this information.
yeah,
Somebody needs to have this information. And for your guest to say that there's so much information out there that people don't know about, like it's time
yeah,
for us to know about it. It's
yeah.
time for us, not to be in the dark anymore. Lizette says, I pray that these programs will survive this current administration. Ooh,
That's yeah,
baby.
that's a big one. That's a real concern because a lot of the research is federally funded. For these different places that are trying to find cures for not only dementia but all these other things that are plaguing us, they're federally funded. So, it's a real big concern because not only that people will lose their jobs and things like that, but also if they had somebody like you have to take it takes a lot to try to find a cure. It takes a lot of people, a lot of effort and stuff like that. If you don't
Mhm.
have the team, what it's how it slows down the process so much. If
Mhm.
you have a skeleton team, you know what I'm saying? People are making
Yeah.
strides here, so let's pray for that. Let's pray for,
Mhm.
the government, and that they allow people to continue to do their research and things like that, because a lot of
Yeah.
these things are federally funded, and they're going to get hit. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
continue to spread awareness about those things that aren't federally funded
yeah,
too, because there's
yeah,
some private funders doing some things. So,
yeah.
yeah, all of the above for
And
sure.
speak up, and speak up
Mhm.
when
Mhm.
they ask you to write a letter and things like that. Then do it, okay? Because
Yeah.
this is for our future. We may not need it now, but we may need it later, or somebody else needs it. you know
Yeah.
that's we need to be able to fight some of
Yeah.
this. Yeah, yeah,
We can't just sit back. We can't
yeah,
just sit back and
yeah,
you know, I say do what you can. Um and take your time, do it as you can because you don't want to be overwhelmed. I was just talking to a friend today about, there's protests happening and all these different things. And you don't we can't sit by and not do anything. But like Francine said, if they ask you to make a call, make a call. We can make a call.
yeah.
We
We can
can
do that.
do those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Lizette. Thank you everybody for hopping on. Francine, I want you to share why you started this thing
Mhm.
and why it's so important for them to listen and share. Okay, and then I'll hop back on before it's time to say
Okay.
bye.
Well, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it, and I really do want you to share, because it is so important to get this information out. You know why I started Autumn is here, because my mom had Alzheimer's and I didn't have any information, and having some information is better than not having anything. And I didn't have anything, so having some information, give them some guidance, some direction how to deal with it. Autumn is here is something where you can go on and you can see, whatever subject you want to see, you can click on it and look at it at any time. So if you don't look at it when it's on Sunday, that's fine. You can go back to it. If you have not seen this show, please go back to it. I did it last Sunday, and if you haven't seen the show, please look at it, see what they're doing, see that there's somebody that is working on helping people with dementia, and helping caregivers, and helping people that are underserved and underserved communities. So we just want you to make sure that you share this information. Believe it or not, there are a lot of people out here that don't know things that we may assume that people know, but they don't know it. And we want people to know that they're not alone, that they're not going crazy, they're not the only ones going through it, and they're not alone, and there is help out here, and there's support out here, and there's other people who care. So that's all I have to say is, hello, Evelyn, are you back?
I'm back. Listen, I didn't leave you hanging, but I just had to, let you do your
No.
one-on-one talk with your people,
Evelyn wants me
okay?
to do
Because they need to hear it
speeches.
from you.
She wants me to do speeches. So
Listen, I'm pushing you out there more and more, okay?
thank you. Okay.
But yeah, I love it. No, honestly, it's just, sincere coming from you because this came from your heart. You started it from your heart. So
Yeah.
I wanted people to hear from you. But thank you all for hopping on today. I love it every time we hop on the conversation, the things that come out, it's not scripted. So I just love when the conversation flows. So thank you to everybody that hopped on. I am gonna mention Sunday, Francine, even though you still don't have the details. Be there, okay?
Okay,
Be
Sunday.
there because you're gonna have a good time.
You got to tell people where it is.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm joking, but y'all, Francine has been a guest on my podcast two times. It hasn't been released yet, but we're doing a live podcast recording on Sunday, February 16th, and I'm celebrating my birthday also. And Francine will be honored for the work she's doing with Autumn is Here, along with some other amazing people. So you don't want to miss it. It's going to be at the Brooklyn Wellness Club on Sunday, February 16th from 3 to 5 p.m. So we're going to have a good time. We'll have some music, some games, some food, some champagne. And I'm excited. And Francine wants to
Okay,
see
good.
y'all. So come on out. So come on out. I love
February
it. I love it.
16th. February 16th, 2
February
o'clock.
16th.
2 o'clock.
No, 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. I have to be
Hmm.
there too. Sorry.
Yes, you do.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, y'all. Francine,
Yeah.
there's something that you forgot to share with your audience. Don't forget that I didn't what, or
Don't
don't forget,
forget that I didn't tell you. Oh, okay.
or
Okay.
don't say that
That's
I
right.
didn't tell you
I'm
one of
sorry.
the
Don't
things.
say I didn't tell you. One of the things we talk about is that, somebody needs to know this information, but a lot of times people don't use it. They'll hear it and they won't use it. And I'm just like, don't say I didn't tell you because nobody told me. I'm here to
Yeah.
tell you. So that's what my 2 cents is. That's what Autumn is here is. I am here to tell you. So don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say you didn't know because you
Yes.
have the
Yes.
resources to know now. So
Yes, Lizette said, "Happy birthday, Evelyn, and congratulations, Francine." Thank you,
thank you.
Lizette. I'm
Thank
gonna mention
you.
one more thing before we hop off. About you were talking about them going to your website to click the link so they could possibly be a part of the study.
Yeah.
I just want to repeat that again because sometimes our people need to
Yes.
hear it three,
Please.
four times.
And
Um,
yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Even if you don't need it. Somebody else, think about it. Somebody else that needs it, please go to the my website and you can click Alleviato. And when you click that, it takes you into some description of what it is. And it is a mobile app that they're trying, that is a 4 week trial, and they will help you to go through it. And then you can um, put down information about your loved one that you're taking care of, and it will help you to be able to better take care of them and give you some suggestions and let you journal and things like that. So please test it because we need to know if it works, if we need to know how to improve it. Somebody needs it.
Mhm.
So oh,
I
wait a
love that.
minute. Is
Yeah, I'm glad I mentioned it again because
Oh,
Kimberly
okay.
hopped on from Ab's team. Hey, Kimberly. She
Hi.
said, I'm listening from NYC, currently in my car driving. Thank you so much for helping us to let your audience know about our app. You're
Oh,
so
okay.
welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad you came on, Kimberly. Thank you. Yes, he has a team. They were all at Caring Kind um, walk, and they had a table of all this information of how they're helping people and how they're helping people with dementia and people that are underserved. So they were out there working hard. So hi, Kimberly. I'm glad you joined us tonight. Yeah. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing. It's really a good thing to have the app and see what happens. You can be part of this. When it blows up, you can say, "Well, I tried it," or you know, you know, yeah, yeah. That's how things start. That's just how things start. And we
Yes.
also say we don't have things in our community. They're trying to give us something that we have in our community that's easy for us to use at our fingertips. Because, like I said, the doctor doesn't tell you everything. So there might be stuff on here that you'll know that can easily help you you know journey through this time, because it's a journey when you're caring for someone with dementia. It's a
Yeah.
journey, believe that. Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. So what a great way to end. And thank you, Kimberly. I saw that. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. What a great way to end. Your guest team hopped on there. Yeah, y'all, this is super important. So hopefully you enjoyed today's show. Don't forget to share it. And we'll talk to y'all later.
Okay, good night, everyone. Thank you again.
Good night.